So, can an AI actually find the next billion-dollar idea? Welcome to The Explainer. Today we are diving into some really fascinating new research that basically sets up an AI tournament to see if these systems can be more than just tools and become real partners in innovation.
Just think about it for a second. Patents are this incredible treasure trove of human ingenuity, but they're locked away behind dense, almost unreadable legalese. Well, what if we could change that? This whole explainer is about a new framework called Ideate, which uses AI to systematically dig through these documents and pull out real-world, groundbreaking product ideas.
All right, let's get into how they did it. The researchers didn't just build one system. Instead, they set up what you could call an innovation bake-off. They pitted 3 different AI approaches against each other to see which one could squeeze the best ideas out of the very same patent.
So, in our bake-off, we've got 3 contenders. First up is the solo AI. You can think of this as the lone genius, a single large language model trying to do everything with one giant complex prompt. Then you have the specialist team, which is more like an internal brainstorming session with multiple AIs, each one having a very specific job. And finally, you've got the connected team. That's the same specialist group, but with one key difference. They have a market researcher agent that can actually search the web to see what's happening in the real world.
Okay, so before we find out who won, let's pop the hood and see how this whole thing actually works. I mean, how do you go from a super dense patent to a clean, polished product idea? Well, all 3 contenders followed the same fundamental recipe. And here it is, the 4-step innovation pipeline that is at the heart of this entire study. First, step 1, ingest. An AI agent literally just reads the patent's raw text, the title, the abstract, all the claims. Then, step 2, analyze. A different, specialized agent sifts through that text to pull out the core innovation. What's the secret sauce here? Next, step 3, generate. An idea generator agent takes that core analysis and brainstorms a structured business idea around it. And finally, step 4, validate. A validator agent acts as the quality control, checking if the idea is truly original and makes sense. It's a genuine assembly line for innovation. And that assembly line, that brings us to the key concept here, the agentic approach. This is the big idea. It's not about just throwing one giant AI at a problem anymore. It's about building a team of specialized AIs that work together. You've got your analyst, your creative brainstormer, your fact-checker. This division of labor is exactly what makes the whole system so much more powerful.
So the bake-off begins.
And to make sure things were completely impartial for the first round of judging, they didn't use a human. Nope. They brought in another, even more powerful AI to be the blind judge, comparing the ideas from the different teams side by side without knowing which was which.
Now for the results. In the domain of computer science, it wasn't even close. It was a total landslide. The connected team, the one with the web search tool, produced ideas that the AI judge preferred a staggering 86% of the time. What this tells us is that in a field that moves as fast as CS, knowing the current market landscape is a massive, massive advantage.
But, and this is where it gets really, really interesting, when the judge looked at ideas from natural language processing patents, the tables just completely flipped. The specialist team without the search tool was the runaway winner, preferred 88% of the time. It seems like for NLP, having all that external web data was actually more of a distraction than help.
And we see a pretty similar pattern over in material chemistry. Once again, the internal team, the one without the web search, came out on top. And this just perfectly illustrates one of the key findings of this whole study. More data is not always better. The best method depends entirely on the specific job you're trying to do. All right, the AI judge has cast its vote. But what about us humans? For the final round, the best ideas from each category were handed over to human experts for a really detailed evaluation across a whole bunch of different criteria.
And first up, we have our wild card winner. The ideas that came from material chemistry took first place for pure, raw innovativeness. The human experts saw them as incredibly creative, even if they also thought they were a bit of a long shot, technically. You know, your classic high-risk, high-reward situation.
Next, we have the reliable performer. The computer science ideas, which you'll remember came from that web-connected team, scored really solidly. They landed in the top 3 across pretty much the whole board. They just showed a great balance of being innovative while also being grounded in real-world market awareness. A safe, steady choice.
And finally, the technical powerhouse. The NLP ideas, the ones from that internal-only team, had the strongest overall quality, period. They ranked in the top 3 for almost every single criterion. These ideas were technically sound, super specific, even if they were maybe aimed at more of a niche market.
So after all that, the bake-off, the AI judge, the human experts, what's the final verdict? What does this all tell us about using AI teams for real-world innovation?
Well, the key takeaways are actually crystal clear. First off, a team of specialized AIs, an agentic system, just blows a single solo AI out of the water. But, and this is the crucial part, there is no one-size-fits-all. A search tool might be your best friend in computer science, but it could actually get in the way in a field like NLP. It shows you have to build the right team for the right job, and you're always playing with that classic trade-off between wild, out-there creativity and down-to-earth feasibility.
And this quote from the paper just wraps it all up perfectly. Agentic AI is a huge leap forward for making innovation a structured, repeatable process. But the magic isn't just in having an AI. The magic is in thoughtfully designing the right AI team with the right process for the very specific problem you're trying to solve.
You know, this research really opens the door to a future where AI isn't just an assistant that goes and fetches stuff for us. It's a genuine creative collaborator that can help us connect the dots in new ways, challenge our own assumptions, and unlock the value that's been hiding in our own collective knowledge all along. It really makes you wonder, what's next?
If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't just sit there patenting your brilliant thoughts. Go ahead and patent your subscription to the Vibe Doc channel. Hit that subscribe button for more explainers like this one. And now it's your turn. Drop a comment below with the most innovative idea you've ever had. Let's see what you've got.